Episode 17. I think it's 17. I think it's 17. I love how all these episodes start with me not knowing which one it is, but whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna just jump straight into it. No introduction needed. Milan, this green country over here in the South Alpine, North Mediterranean country, they're about to get jumped. Most notably by Rome and their buddy, best pal friend, Rheims. Rome will just straight up move on in, blitz up through the north, approaching their capital and these major cities. Meanwhile, Rheims will just rip through along the coast and... oh shit, I colored it in the wrong. Why is it doing that? Oh, I don't like that. What in tarnation? Okay, hold up. Hold. Hold. Apparently this area up here doesn't have a very distinctive coastline, so... will it work now? Let's test it out. No, it still just mutilates the coastline. I don't know what this thing's problem is over here, but does it still do it yet? I should test these things beforehand, but nah, I'm good. Whatever. Anyways, Rheims takes over this entire coastline area over here. Oh, is it a different color? Is that why it's doing that? Get really close to the camera. I don't even know. This ain't even a real color. Oh my god, it's getting cooked. Whatever, okay. Good enough. Anyways, where was I? Rheims, they're helping every way they can. They kind of push up here along this coastal area, securing all the land east of, like, the major cities of Milan. And then there's this oddball, which, speaking of that oddball, Austria, Hungary, Bavaria, the big conglomeration, they're gonna roll on in, take this city, and just yoink all this land over away from Milan. They're charging in, and Milan is now fighting a three-front war. They're about to get cooked big time. But that's not all, because these guys, this little city-state, is also going to try to move in and get some land. Their success at doing so is pretty limited, but they are able to kind of take a sizable chunk of territory for themselves. But most of the damage is being done by Rome, which, speaking of which, they meet up with the border of this small city-state. They capture the capital of Milan, continuing to push on up through the north, and blitzing through, taking this westernmost major city. Rheims will take one of the outermost one over here, and then Rome will finish off pretty much the country as a whole. They don't function anymore. They're done. They're cooked pretty hard, and they don't really care too much about it. Austria, Hungary will move in and take some of this land along the Rheims border. And all this is just getting snatched up. Now, looking at this from afar, I want to make sure this doesn't look too horrible. I'm gonna do something like this, where Rome occupies the rest of this, and no more Milan. No more Milan. They're gone. What a fun rhyme. Anyways, actually I'm gonna give some of this to Rheims. This doesn't look so pretty. There we go. I think that looks good. Whoa, what the... Hello? Okay, that was weird. I think I clicked something by accident. I just meant to zoom out a little bit, but whatever. But yeah, Milan just got annihilated by Rome and Rheims, and everyone got a bit of them. Everybody came in looking for some good old violence. So they're cooked. Now moving over here to Anatolia. These guys are also about to get cooked by their neighbors who don't like them very much. So Sparta and Thessaloniki will start it out, kind of like how best buddies. Oh my god. Yay, oxygen. Anyways, how Rome and Rheims jumped Milan, Sparta and Thessaloniki are about to jump Anatolia, which historically they were kind of even. Here they're still kind of even, so both armies will march. Actually, I know this isn't realistic, but I don't care. I'm gonna fix this border. I do not like the way that looks. Do something like that. There we go. Maybe give Sparta a little more of this. There we go. Perfect. Okay, beautiful. Anyways, Sparta will begin their front in Anatolia, and Thessaloniki will try to make its way across the peninsula. So Sparta will move around this city. They'll fail to capture it, but they'll get like decent gains into the actual peninsula, and they'll move here. Thessaloniki will try and fail to make a landing in Anatolia. Most of the fighting's going on here. North Anatolia holds out strong. They cannot cross through the Dardanelles. They're sealed shut. However, as well, I don't know if I always do this, but Old Empire coming in clutch. Old Empire, my unoriginal, not creation. They're gonna jump in and ruin North Anatolia's day. They start by blitzing out over here, taking this major city, then move most of their forces over here, up to the Black Sea, so that they can take the truly valuable land from them. And do that, they do. That was clunky, but whatever. They'll come down here, wipe this major city out, and then from here, there's not many super populated urban settlements, but they're a-coming. They're moving. They're blitzing. Now, I know most of Turkey's very difficult to traverse terrain-wise. I'm pretty sure it's pretty rocky, pretty mountainous, but oh, when has that ever stopped anybody? The old Imperians are common. They'll meet up with the border of Sparta, too, which is pretty nice. But yeah, they've taken a large amount of land from them. Quite a few major cities, and this will be the push that Sparta needs. Not only to take this major city, but to really gain a massive advantage overall. To really get the gears going. They'll take this coastal major city. They'll take these islands, and they'll just kind of push along the Turkish coastline up here. They'll move in, take this major city. The Anatolians will hold out on this major city on the coast for a little bit, and Sparta will take the time to move on inland, take all this land. The old Imperians will waltz in too, securing all this, and now approaching some of the more inland major cities. Of course, their front along the Black Sea is still going while they capture this one, and they kind of near this one over here. Now, Thessaloniki, they're not doing that much, but eventually they will be able to get it going. They cross the Dardanelles into this area of Anatolia, capturing this area, this island, and this city, meeting up with Sparta and making their push towards whatever you want to call that city. I don't know. Anatolia City, the capital of North Anatolia. And every party involved will continue their movement. The Old Empire will capture the two major cities, they were nearby. And the blitz along the coast of the Black Sea will continue eventually. They'll move down / up and encircle this large chunk. Eventually they'll move in, take this major city, and from here, they're pretty far from home, like, zooming out. This is pretty far from the majority of their territory in, like, Arabia and along the Fertile Crescent. So they're actually going to stop their invasion and peace out with everybody, which will leave Sparta to continue their onslaught, which also won't go on for much longer, as they'll kind of turn to helping Thessaloniki occupy the rest of this. And eventually, they will. They'll secure all this, capture this major city, move up north, up here, surrounding this capital city, the final stronghold, and eventually they will capture it. Meaning North Anatolia is done. They took them over. However, they will not look like this in the peace treaty, because that would be horrendous. No, instead, they will be allowed to exist. Just barely, but they will be. Along the Black Sea, feels kind of goofy. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say that they get to keep their capital city, and they get to keep like some of this coastline along the Black Sea as well as this. Maybe they even get to keep that major city. Actually, probably not. Anyways, they're allowed to exist, but they lose significant, definitely significant territory. Obviously, the Old Empire taking most of it. Sparta takes even more influence over Anatolia, expanding from the claim they got when they invaded Rhodes. Thessaloniki, meanwhile, gains control over the Dardanelles, and by taking this over, they have control over the Turkish Straits, giving them pretty much authority on who goes into the Black Sea or not. So that's a pretty big dub. Granted, they don't have full control. Like, some of their neighbors are like, if you don't let us in, we'll kill you. Mostly Rome, but I mean, they obviously let Sparta in because they're good chums. The Old Empire doesn't necessarily need the Turkish Straits to get in. Well, they do to get in by sea, by boat, but they have territory along the Black Sea, so they can send stuff by land and then boop-a-doop. So that's all fine and dandy. So yeah, both Milan just straight up got destroyed, doesn't exist anymore. Former country. And Anatolia got cooked. I kind of think Anatolia is a little too big. I'm actually going to give Thessaloniki a little more of this. I'm going to do something like this, to where they just kind of surround them. Maybe they have a little more land over here. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. I like that. They're a true city-state now. This isn't really a city-state anymore. Now they're just kind of like weird. Formerly Mediterranean France, now basically Switzerland. Lovable. Also, Milan's capital city is still here. Now, for a lot of the cities, I just kind of erase them because I don't really care. This time, I'm gonna replace the city. Yeah, I might not remember where it is, but like it's right about here. So it still exists, just not as strong. Wait, is that Milan's color actually? Is this pixel? It is Milan. Huh. Well, in that case, actually, hold up now. Hold on. I can undo. Can bring them back. I'm gonna make them a city-state. I don't think I have enough city-states. This is like the prime era for city-states. It's like the 1600-ish time. There were a lot of small like countries like this in Europe. You could blame the Holy Roman Empire, but we'll do something like this. Milan still exists, but without the majority of their, like, goodies. And I'm actually going to make them smaller. I don't like the way this looks. So we'll do something like this. Yeah, I think that's good. So now we have, like, they still exist, but they're hella weak. They're super weak. But now we get to a more peaceful acquisition of land. We get a union. Someone's going to be uniting into the strongest country in the world, Rome. Now, what country is that? It's actually going to be these fellas in Spain, in Iberia. The Iberian nation will officially follow through with their plan. They will fully... Oh shit, I just realized it erases all of the cities. Oh shoot. Oh, you know what? It's a different color though. Wait, is it? Why is it doing that? It's just destroying the major cities. That's rude. Sure we clicked the right color? Ugh, that's so annoying. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's not even the right color. Whatever. Basically, just know they're uniting with Rome. I'm gonna fix this real quick. Boom. Okay, there we go. Fixed. But Iberia has united into the Empire of Rome, which is now, I mean, if they were the strongest country in the world before, like, now, oh, ooh, head and shoulders above the rest. The closest thing is, like, the old empire, and even then they're not nearly on the same level. So that's cool. But now moving over here to South Asia, we're gonna see a war break out between Southeast India, this brown country, and the Burma Siamese. Burma Siam is significantly stronger than them. Also, their capitals are right on their doorstep, which not a good key to victory. But they'll move on in fast. They'll wipe this major city out. They'll keep blitzing through up here, meeting up with the border of this gray country. They will move down into the more inland areas, or their front line will hold sturdy. They will come down here, wipe out all three of these cities, surround the capital, and then occupy it. Which extreme success. Wait a minute, they have two capitals. Wait, what? That was the capital of West Bengali. Oof. Okay, never mind. They just went through it then. They marched along the coast towards the capital city. Forget everything I said about the proximity of the capital. I mean, it's still pretty close. They're still somewhat close. Anyways, some of their armies will move a little more inland to secure some of this more interesting land. In addition, we'll see this gray North Indian team go in. What the hell is going on over there? Why does it do that? Okay, whatever. They oh my god, no. No! Okay. Why is it doing this to me? Why can't you be chill? You know, we'll finish the invasion down here before we get to that tiny little strip of land that just... It's gonna go over to these great guys, I promise. Anyways, these guys will continue their march down along the coast, surrounding the capital, moving inland, taking a whole heap of land. However, probably to be expected, the blue West Indian country, the original, will come on in and just secure everything along the west side of the peninsula. Then they'll move up and just very rapidly take over a giant amount of land. Turns out a lot of the people here are quite happy to see them. They didn't exactly prosper under the new regime, so these guys are able to move in pretty quickly. All but Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka holds out like a fortress, and we see Burma, Siam finish off the capital of the East Indian country. Actually, hold on. I meant to give them a little more land down here. We turned on the brush size too. Something like that. Yeah, okay, there we go. Satisfactory to my eyes. Actually, not really. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Put it more like that. You know, I'm just gonna do that. Beautiful. Alright, so that is what the border looks like between them. I feel like this gray color is a little different. Is it? Like, is this color different than this color? Look at my computer. I think it's the same color. I think I'm just tripping. Anyways, this tiny little chunk of land I was trying to give over to these guys. Every time I do that, the entirety of Tibet gets colored in. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to color this in, but when I do, you stroll into Tibet, it all gets colored in. So maybe I do that, and then I color in. No! Oh my god, why is this such a problem? And color this in, and oh my god, now it's... How do I solve this? I just wanted Tibet to be here. Okay. Can I undo? Undo, okay. How do I want to do this? What's the correct course of action? Because I'm pretty sure if I try to color this in with these guys, nope, it works. Okay then, I guess these guys are going over to Burma Siam because I can't get it to work otherwise. There we go, there we go. Okay, let's figure something out. Maybe Tibet really wants that piece of land. Maybe that's the problem. There we go. That was the problem the whole time. They just really wanted it. Okay. Then I'll give this over to them. Beautiful. Okay. Problem solved. Sort of. I'm going to dread coming back over here to this abomination. But, yeah. There we go. East India has now been relegated back to just Sri Lanka. And they'll exist for like a year or two until another party will just come in and invade, and that party will be the Sumatra country. They'll sail across the sea and navally invade it, bringing about an end to the East India country and giving them another new island. Speaking of islands, Australia, we got a new country forming over here in the south part, and they're pretty sizable too, and they very quickly end up becoming very strong. They take over Tasmania as well, pretty much spreading along the most valuable parts of Australia, the east coast, and very quickly they kind of become the dominant power on the continent, I guess. I mean, as far as lands on the continent are concerned, because Java could probably fight them off, but that's including their main land area over here. Just concerning the claims on Australia, yeah, I think the strongest pure claim on the Australian continent is definitely these ones. As for a lot of this desert land, I think it's mostly just being claimed rather than fully, like, they're fully going in and occupying the whole thing, but yeah. As for this green Borneo country, they're going to do a little more expanding along this Horn of Africa. Jesus Christ, oh my lord. Africa. Australia! They'll move on in, meeting up with the border of the this country. And they'll move on in and kind of secure like this northern area too. So definitely some pretty big progress being done by these guys. In addition, they will move out and discover some of these islands over here. Bougainville, the Solomon Islands, all this. It won't quite get over here. What is this? Oh, I remember. New country, Caledonia. They'll occupy these islands over here as well as Fiji. And they are a new country. New country! Very small country, but like, that's a country right there. Nice island chain. As for the expansion towards the New World, it's happening, slow but steady. Here, we'll give you an update over here on Scotland's adventures in Greenland. The brush size is way too big. Hold up. We'll turn to 25. All right. Oh my God, it's happening again. Why? Why not? You know. Can we just like color this in? No, they don't occupy all of Greenland. What if I do something like this, where I color around them, and I color the full thing in? So they're going to be doing big expand, like that, and then I go in and I just color their thing. Okay, I think that fixed it. Oh, wait, hold up. No, that's not what... Hold up. These 2 pixels. Oh my God, it's wiping my... And it's back. Why is it back? I'm going to explosion. Anyways, that's how much they're gonna expand for now. I'm sick of dealing with this. Anyways, one more thing. These islands up here will be occupied by Estonia. They already claimed all the others. They'll claim these ones too. Estonia's looking pretty big. They're basically Russia. Like that is what they are. They're Russia. But for one final event of the video, we will be seeing the restless power of Rome go out and make a very major naval invasion. They're going to be sending their forces off the newly occupied Spanish territory, up north around Spain, over to Ireland. And they are going to land over here in the south, moving out very quickly along the south part of the country, moving in into the center. They kind of cut it into like 3 parts. Each of the major cities, they wipe out each major city and then blitz through the capital and occupy the entire island. And now Ireland is under Roman control. Something weird going on along the coast. This isn't like me narrative-ing, just like something weird going on with the textures. That's so weird. I was just trying to have Rome invade Ireland. Okay, hold on. Maybe if I fix it, maybe if I go in and with more detail, it'll... Oh, it's because a lot of the coastal areas got like chipped off, it looks like. Whatever. So yeah, just so you know, Rome is invading Ireland and occupying it, which, how does Scotland feel about that? I don't know. They're probably conflicted. On one hand, they don't want to speak up about it because it's Rome, the strongest country in the world. They don't want to be next on the agenda. At the same time, they were somewhat friendly with Ireland, so not super jazzed about it, I'd imagine. Alright, I think I fixed it. Anyways, Ireland is under Roman control now. So Rome did some expanding in this episode, obviously with Iberia, the invasion of Milan, and Ireland. They are what else do I have to say? They're cooking. They're on one right now. But that will be the end of episode 17. Please like. I like that. And subscribe. We're trying to hit 10 subscribers. Oh my god, my mic is giving me a red alert. I don't know how long it's been like that for the whole video, but whatever. I have got to beat my brother in subscribers for fun. So I think he had like 26, something like that. So please subscribe. It helps. And until next time, goodbye.